on again. Baby, get ready to climb back on the land. Come on, man, shake the dust off and move. Don't yawn and prolong what you got to do. And if you've been going through any negative phase, well, here's your opportunity for turning the page. Today's a new chapter. Right to fly, make it end with the wind. Give it all you got. First you gotta rise, look alert and alive. Get the dirt from your eyes and work for the prize. Get it done, 'cause we ain't even trying to lose. Let's go, man, don't get snooze. It's time to wake up. 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 Take them all. Take, let's go. Take them all. Take. You can't wait around for someone to prove. Now is the moment to begin your renewal, man. Feel alive with the vibe, energize on the boat. So you're coming by the white in your eyes. Hey, another day might waste away. Come on, let's get it going, don't make delays. So ring me along and lift your arm high. Like Georgia, we get a piece of the pie. Begin it with the step, you'll get in it in a sec. You'll be winning like you never did it when you overslept. So right this minute, get right with it. What time is it? It's time to wake up.
Good morning, Birmingham. This is the regular meeting of the Birmingham City Council. Today is Tuesday, April 15th. This morning, our invocation will be given by Mr. Ryan Jackson, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilor J.T. Moore. If you're willing and able, please stand.
Good morning. Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you for another awesome day. We thank you for a day that wasn't promised, oh God, and on this Passion Week, we remember your greatest commandment was for us to love the Lord our God with all our heart, all our mind, and all our soul, and all our strength. But the greatest part was that you asked us to love our neighbor as ourselves. So on this morning, oh God, we remember your sacrifice, and we do the same thing as we love one another. No greater love than this, that a man lay down his life for a friend. And so this morning, we don't take these opportunities for granted to pray to you, but also to serve this great city. And we ask a special blessing upon the mayor and his staff and our city council and their staff. Lord God, may we keep the love of our neighbor as our primary focus as we journey out this week in this meeting. God, we love you and everyone else in heaven. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Morning. Councilmember Abbott, Councilmember Clark, Councilmember Moore.
Good morning.
Good morning. Councilmember Smitherman. Good morning. Councilmember Tate. Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Woods. Good morning. Council President Pro Tem Alexander.
Good morning, President.
Good morning. Council President O'Quinn.
Good morning. Councilors, before us we have the minutes from the January 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
All
Right.
in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, those minutes are approved. The minutes are not ready for the February 4th, 2025 through April 8th, 2025 meetings. At this time, we'll have communications from Mayor Woodfin.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning to the entire council. Good to see you all this morning. Good to see everyone here in the chamber and as well as those online this morning. I just want to make a note. Last weekend was great for our families and community. I want to thank everyone who came out to support the many wonderful events this past weekend, from the Neighbor Fest housing event in Lynn Park to Jackie Robinson Day at the Negro Southern League Museum to the Spring Fest at Railroad Park. A special thank you to our city workers who made these events happen and to those who made sure our city was safe and clean. A note related to this Good Friday: the City of Birmingham offices will be closed on Friday, April 18th, with the exception of police, fire, and 911 in observance of Good Friday. I do want to wish this council and all our families in the community a peaceful Easter weekend. At this time, Mr. President and Council, I would like to ask Anna Sullivan, who is the Executive Director of the Crisis Center, as well as her guests to join me here at the podium. I want to talk about an issue I know many of you all have championed and fought against, and that is sexual assaults in our community. As they come forward, a note: sexual assault affects individuals of all genders, all ages, all races, and all backgrounds. An American is unfortunately sexually assaulted every 68 seconds, and every 9 minutes that victim is a child. Our community is grateful for the Crisis Center's important work and for its support of individuals experiencing the most devastating moments of their lives. And so today we want to honor the work of the Crisis Center, as well as bring awareness around sexual assault in a special proclamation that I will read in part. And it states, whereas it is imperative that we raise awareness about the prevalence of sexual assault, provide support to survivors, and work toward preventing future incidents of sexual violence. And whereas nationally, April is recognized as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It is a time to be actually aware of sexual violence and how we can prevent it as we strive to create a culture of consent, respect, and accountability. The theme of this year's campaign is Together We Act, United We Change. Now, therefore, I, Randall L. Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, Alabama, along with the Birmingham City Council, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the City of Birmingham, and urge all residents to join in our efforts to raise awareness about sexual assault, support survivors, and work toward creating a culture of respect and consent. And at this time, Council, I would like to ask Ms. Sullivan to share a few words.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having us here today. Thank you for this proclamation and for supporting this work that is so important to all of us. I'm Anna Sullivan, the Executive Director of the Crisis Center. I have members of our sexual assault team here with us. I have Kristen Rezick, who is the coordinator for our Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner Clinic. I have Dr. Robertson, who is our medical director. I have Jess Tomlinson, who's our outreach coordinator, and Elizabeth Terrio, who is our communications specialist. This is such an important month for us. We wear teal in the month of April to show our outward support for survivors of sexual assault. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 14 men will be victims of sexual assault during their lifetime. So this is something that impacts many, many people in our community. If a survivor goes to the emergency room, understandably, someone that has a life-threatening issue has to be prioritized. At our clinic, we have exam rooms, counseling rooms. It's private, a private entrance, but also our nurses are trained to gather evidence specifically related to this. We have special equipment that can pick up bruising before it even shows on the skin. Strangulation is often part of a sexual assault, so this is very important evidence. Research shows that a victim of sexual assault has a much better outcome if they come to a sexual assault nurse examiner clinic. They have lower risk for alcohol and substance misuse after an assault, lower risk for suicidal ideation and attempts, and many other mental health issues. So this is critical for our survivors. Unfortunately, the federal funding has been declining for several years now. Centers have closed in our state. About 23% of our counties do not have these services. We serve 4 counties, but we don't turn anyone away. But I want you to know this is important for our community as well. Our team is part of the Sexual Assault Kit Initiative program. They work with law enforcement in our community, and to date, they have helped to identify 188 serial sexual assault perpetrators in our community and have been instrumental in getting some of them behind bars. So as you can see, this matters to all of us. And the work that they are doing is so critical. It matters to the survivors, it matters to our community, and we need to come together and support this team that is doing this amazing work. It is hard work, and fortunately, we have people that are so dedicated and care passionately about helping our community in this way. So I want to give Dr. Robertson just a minute to speak as well, but thank you for this proclamation. Thank you for your support.
I just need to give you a little bit of history of how this came about. When I first came to Birmingham 50 years ago, all the sexual assault victims were brought to whatever the nearest emergency room. But then Mercy Hospital opened, and everybody thought, well, we've got a county hospital, so they shipped them all to us. And I was the director at Mercy Hospital of the emergency department. So we did a sorry job. All the physicians, including me, did a terrible job of doing this. They referred to the victims as, put the rape in room 3. And here's this little girl who's sitting there crying in her hands, and she's the rape, you know. So that has all changed. The Crisis Center, about 20 years ago now, came about to come up with a group of trained nurses who continue their training in their work to do a very complete exam, including pictures and ultraviolet and other lights that demonstrate injuries, and DNA analysis, and it has improved what we're doing here immensely over the years. So we've got a lot to be proud of here. They're doing a hell of a lot better job than the doctor did. So I'm thankful. I have what I do is to review the charts and sign them. And I get paid. This is a voluntary job. So I could not have a better job. And I keep asking for raises, but they won't give it to me. So, but we have a lot to be proud of. And thank you for giving us a little headline so that people can be aware of this. Appreciate it.
You guys want to?
They're escaping.
Mayor Woodfin, I just want to, for those guys to step out, I want to thank them for all the work that they do for our community. I know you guys are highlighting sexual assault today, but the Crisis Center also has a number of hotlines, for folks who are experiencing a crisis, whether it's youth or seniors. You guys provide an invaluable service, not only to the city of Birmingham, but into our entire, region. So please know that we see you and that we deeply appreciate the work that you guys do every day.
Mr. President,
Councilor Abbott.
yeah, I just wanted to say, I had no idea that you had this center and that this help was available. Zero. So I'm wondering how we can get the word out, because I'm sure I'm not the only one, so that people know, because the incidence of sexual attack is often. And there's probably lots of folks that don't know because they weren't expecting to need to know. Right. So how can this information be disseminated more into the public? Because I'm sure you have a website or something, but.
Right. So we do have a website, and like I said, we have Jess who goes out in the community. She tables at events that we have. We also work closely with law enforcement, so they know about our services. So if someone calls the police, they will be informed by the police about the service, and they can actually take them to our clinic. We are doing all we can, but we have limited resources, and as I said, they have been declining every year. this staff works unbelievably hard, more than they should. But we want to do.
And for $0.
Well, well, Dr. Robinson's an amazing person, and thankfully, yes, but it takes money to do this work. You need the dedicated staff, but they have to be able to make a living and survive. So word of mouth is a big part of it as well. We need help spreading the word. We really try hard, but we can't do it on our own.
Do y'all have some, like, literature that could be taken to meetings or,
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking that this is a big deal and I'm embarrassed that I didn't know, but I get embarrassed a lot. So I'm glad to hear that this is available because I was thinking that there are a lot of people who don't want to call the police. They're embarrassed.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to go to the emergency room because they know they'll sit there and freeze to death for 5 hours before anybody sees them.
Right.
So I understand. And so if someone were to confide to a friend or someone that they thought might know, that person may not know anything, so.
Right. And I think, that's where everyone can help. You've learned things today that you can share with people and share at community meetings. We'd love to get the word out, but, we're operating with a pretty slim staff, and so.
So on your website, are there items that can be copied and printed and just taken, given out or
Elizabeth?
anything like that?
So Elizabeth's our communication specialist.
Yeah, I hate to take up so much time, but I'd really like to know where to get something,
Yes.
a handout or something you could leave where someone could see it or.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Terry. I'm the communication specialist at the Crisis Center. I started last summer. It's been incredible to work with Anna and the rest of the team because you're exactly correct. There are so many people in our community who are not aware of our 24/7 completely free services that are there for folks who need them. We do have a website. I'm working on getting a resource kit together that can be available with all of our flyers and handouts so that anyone can just print them off and distribute them. You can also reach out to me. My email's on the website. And I'm happy to email materials as well if you want to connect with us to get some physical materials. If there's a particular event that you would like to bring some of our cards. We have little business card sized handouts for our sexual assault support services that can be easily distributed. Someone can keep in their wallet so that if you or a loved one or a stranger at the bar, if something happens, we really want people to be aware of these services and even just save the number in your phone. But yes, Ms. Abbott, I would love to connect with you to get some of those materials, and very soon I'll have something up on the website that will be really easily distributable for the community. And I'm always happy to talk, and we all are, of course, about opportunities for collaboration. Like Anna mentioned, if there's a community event, a meeting, a resource fair, we would love to be present. We're going to be starting a series of lunch and learns where we can invite people from our community to come and learn about our services and how we can collaborate. And we're really excited to invite local leaders and legislators to come to the center, tour our space, see the facility, learn more about what we do. So we would love to give you a tour and have you come and see the space.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the additional information.
Counselor Smitherman.
I just want to thank you very quickly for the work that you are doing. I guess, I think a lot of us aren't aware of how many people we personally know that have experienced sexual assault. I'm just thinking back to, I had a couple of friends in college actually had that happen, where one friend, she didn't even remember it happening until she woke up the next day. And so, especially with men, they don't report something like that because they feel ashamed and they feel like, this shouldn't have happened to me. So I really appreciate the work you all do and the awareness you've made. So continue the good job, and if there's any support you need, I'm here to help you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And, we have emphasized our clinic, but we also, through our rape response program, provide the advocacy piece, so the emotional support. They can get free counseling, free support groups, and free legal advocacy as well. So thank you very much.
Great. Okay, thank you, Mayor Woodson.
Mr. President, I do have a
Councilman
question for the mayor. So it was some time ago, that I asked about speed cushions, for 29th Street, North, over in Collegeville, in front of the community center. Because we have several kids that are constantly going back and forth between the community center and their houses. I really would like for those speed cushions to be put there, because we've just had too many run-ins where kids have either almost gotten hit or, you know, have gotten tapped by cars that are speeding down that road. And so I don't know if that's something that could be expedited, but I know that it would, you know, I would hate for, you know, a kid to actually experience that and then we react. And so just wanted to ask you about that.
Yes, sir. Chief Sparks, let's make sure that we follow the Department of Transportation today and see where that is in the queue as it relates to speed cushion requests and available funding as well.
Thank
Get you an answer before the day is over.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilor Abbott?
Mr. Mayor, about 2 months ago, I inquired about the street markings for our newly paved streets, the missing traffic bars and crosswalks and center lines and parking spaces. And we've gotten a couple, but in 2 months, I mean, can we not do better at making the contractor mark the streets when they finish paving? Because people they'll stop at a stop sign in the middle of the intersection. You know, there's no traffic bars, no crosswalks, it's just all black at night. So can we give these people a nudge?
So the nudge came that same day. I remember actually making a call to Capital Projects, who in return told me Dunn Construction had the contract, but a subcontractor, I believe based, it's either Montgomery or the southern part of our state, had the subcontract as it relates to the striping. I spoke with 2 people on their team that told me, they explained why they were behind, that they were doing everything they could to catch up. What I need to do is, and I apologize, I should have put that in writing to you, what we did post you bringing that to our attention. But they provided a note to Capital Projects and said, Chief Sparks, we just need to share that note actually this morning with the council. We already have the note, so you can probably get that in the next hour or less on.
Is this their excuse why they're not doing it?
Yes, Councilor, our BDOT team is working with the Capital Projects team on the striping, so that is happening.
They are behind, they acknowledge they're behind. Don't let me make up anything on the spot, because that conversation was 8 weeks ago when they explained why they were behind, but I can check the notes that they sent, as well as provide those to you. What I can tell you is that from the conversations with our team, Department of Transportation, Capital Projects, along with the actual contractor, there is a more intentional tone from us collectively, holding the subcontractor accountable and doing everything they can to speed up and catch up because they are behind in the striping.
Okay, thank you.
Let's find that email note. Let's get that to the council this morning.
Well, instead of a nudge, maybe we should give them a swift kick.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if they ever want to work here again, it would be nice if they would perform.
I like your style.
So I need to give the swift kick, not you?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Let's find a big guy.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna get the note to you all so you can know kind of like the correspondence that has taken place since your last request. I'm bringing this up. But there have definitely been calls and emails back and forth about this issue.
Good, thank you.
Council Williams?
Thank you. On that note, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to thank you and your team for having BDOT Director Mr. Fowler and some capital project, a whole van full of your staff with a lot of different departments go out to Rugby with me. I think that that shed a lot of light on what the actual residents were experiencing in terms of frustration, because we got a lot of,
Complaints?
well, no, we got a lot of, oh, there's a guy in a suit, let me pull over and see what's going on. So, I really appreciate your team, making the time to ride around with me in a hot city van all day. I know that wasn't their favorite thing to do, but I think that it was time well spent, for the citizens. So thank you for organizing that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Mr. President, I have an updated note. I needed my team member to jog memory on kind of what Ms. Abbott's issue was with the striping and the sub we've been using. I now recall, because I gotta refresh my recollection, from that conversation we had, and then from talking with the team, it seems to be part of it is that they're the only game in the entire state, and all 67 counties doing this type of work. Yes, I know that sounds puzzling, and I had the same facial reaction, but that is a fact. And so I think that what the team will continue to do for our contract is make sure they speed up, catch up. As it relates to going forward, we just need to consider what other options exist. But right now, as we understand it, they're the only game in the state.
Sounds like a business opportunity to me.
Yeah, well,
I'm about to retire, you know.
you and I can talk about that. Yes, ma'am. Mr. President, that concludes the mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, at this time, I'll read our statement on conduct of business. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. All items on the consent agenda will be announced by reading the item numbers only. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member or the mayor requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. Additionally, a citizen interested in addressing a council with respect to an item on the consent agenda designated for public hearing may request the item be removed from the consent agenda to hold the hearing on the item. Any items removed from the consent agenda will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. For remaining matters, all matters of permanent operation will be read and all public hearings will be announced. At this time, Mr. Clerk, could we read through the items on our consent agenda?
Consent agenda for today starts on page 2 with items 1, 2, 3, and 4. On page 3, we have items 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on consent. On page 4, we have items 10 and 11 on consent. Please note that on item number 11, there's also a couple of changes to the resolution. Want to add the project number, and that project number is CRP BH-MR 24. Page 5, we have items 12, 13, and 14 on consent. Make changes to item number 13. It's recommended by Budget and Finance, as well as the amount needs to change to $4,000. We're going to add $2,000 from District 7 to the amount. Page 6, we have items 15, 16, and 17 on consent. Item 15 was recommended by Budget and Finance. Item 16, there's some changes. We're going to increase the amount from $5,000 to $7,500. An additional $2,500 is coming from District 8, and that account number is 001_000_04280. That's 542-001. Page 7, we have items 18, 19, and 20 on consent. Page 7 as well, item 19, from the language in the synopsis, I guess it would be the same as the resolution. We will strike the administration of the, and so you would start off by on the second line, it says standard insurance company for employee and group life and ADA and insurance. And the same thing with item 20. We would say for employee vision insurance program effective July 1st. Both were recommended by Public Safety as well as item number 18. Page 8, we have items 21, 22, and 23 on consent. Page 9, we have items 24, 25, and 26 on consent. Page 10, items 27, 28, 29, and 30 are on consent. Page 11, items 31, 32, and 33 are on consent. Page 12, items 34, 35, 37, and 38 are on consent. Item number 36 should be withdrawn. Page 13, we have items 39, 40, and 41 on consent, and that concludes the consent agenda.
All right. Do any members of the council wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Council Williams?
We please remove item number 15 on page 6.
Item 15. All right. Others, Council Tate.
Mr. President, item number 13, please.
Item 13 on page 5.
I'll get it.
Okay. Any others?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
we have a change on item 21 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4th line down, we're gonna strike Department of Public Works and add Equipment Management.
Okay. All right, we also have items 1 through 9 that are public hearing items that are on the consent agenda. Do any members of the public wish to remove any of the items 1 through 9 from the consent agenda? Seeing none, we are ready for a motion on the consent agenda. Yes.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
All right, the consent agenda is approved. Our first item is number 13.
All right, item 13. It's on page 5. A resolution pursuant to section 11-40-1, 38-2-9, 22-3-11, and 11-47-130. Code of Alabama 1975, authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement with the Community Care Development Network in an amount not to exceed $4,000 to allow Community Care Development Network to provide services to the city of Birmingham by providing fresh produce to food insecure families in underserved areas of the city. Said funds to come from the following source: District 9 discretionary funds and District 7 discretionary funds.
Second.
All right, Counselor Tate?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to thank Tamika Holmes, the CEO of Community Care Development Network, and Ms. Adrian Reynolds in Enid Ridge. Is just continuing along the food insecurity and supporting communities with fresh fruits and vegetables. And thank Madam Pro Tem for coming alongside the way, and she may want to say something as well. That's all I have, Mr. President. Just wanted to thank Mrs. Holmes and Mrs. Reynolds for all the work that she's doing out in Enid Ridge and be able to support providing fresh produce and food to underserved areas.
Pro Tem Alexander?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Counselor Tate, for bringing this opportunity to my attention. I had the opportunity to talk with Ms. Holmes and was very happy to be able to bring this as well to District 7. We know that the western area, we have a lot of residents that have to deal with food insecurity at all times. And so anytime that we can bring fresh fruits and vegetables to our residents, I'm very happy to do it. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're ready for the vote.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Item 13 is approved. Item 15, please.
Item 15, a resolution pursuant to section 11-40-1, 38-2-9, 22-3-11, and 11-47-130 Code of Alabama 1975, authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement with the Board of Trustees of the University of Alabama for the University of Alabama at Birmingham in an amount not to exceed $4,000 to allow the board to coordinate with its UAB Live Health Smart Alabama to provide services to the city of Birmingham by implementing the Live Health Smart mobile market, to address the lack of convenient and affordable, stable foods in the underserved community. Said funds to come from the following sources: District 7 discretionary funds.
All right, any discussion on this item?
I do.
Council-
I know
Pro
that
Tem
this was
Alger.
pulled, but I do want to take this opportunity to just say this is a continued effort to bring food, healthy choices, food sources to the residents of District 7. I actually saw this work in District 6, so I thank you, Councilor Smitherman. And as we come even west, then I'm happy to provide this to our residents. Once approved, this will actually be a part of our Love D7 Day. So the first time you'll have an opportunity to witness this and be a part of this would be on April 26th. So thank you very much.
Okay, we're ready for the vote.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Item 15 is approved. I believe that brings us to. Or-
Abstention?
Yep.
Get this, Khalil.
Okay, brings us to item 41, I believe.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll get it suspension. Item 41. Let's see. Item 41. Come on. A resolution setting a public hearing May the 13th, 2025 to consider the adoption of proposed text amendment to the city's zoning ordinance number 15-133 as amended, that will affect all properties within the city of Birmingham, case number ZAC 2025-4.
Move the item.
Item is before you.
Any discussion? Councilor Abbott.
I did want to say that PEP offers their apologies for us not having a red line version, but we'll have one next week, so everybody can tell what changes were made or proposed to be made. Thank you, that's all.
All right, thank you. We're ready for the vote.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Item 41 is approved. That's all of our agenda items. We'll move on to announcements. Councilor Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. South Woodlawn Neighborhood Association will be meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at the Woodlawn Library. We will not have the Community Development Committee meeting today, so please know that that is canceled. And Park and Rec Board will be meeting tomorrow morning at Legion Field at 9 o'clock. So if you would like to attend that meeting, please be sure to do so. High Five Birmingham rolls out the red carpet for 3 of Alabama's most improved schools. They've already been to Oliver Elementary on April the 7th. They just recently went to Richard Arrington yesterday, and they will be at Inglenook Pre-K through 8 on April 21st from 7:15 a.m. to 8 a.m. Special guests will be Lawson State Community College Lady Cougars cheerleaders, and this is just an opportunity to, highlight, celebrate, and acknowledge the work that those students are doing. The Alabama State Black Chamber of Commerce is having their Credit and Wealth Tour. It's presented in collaboration with America's Small Business Development Center of Alabama and Birmingham Waterworks, Tuesday, April 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. At Cahaba Museum, 4012 Sicard Hollow Road, Birmingham, Alabama, 35243. They have a registration link that you can sign up, ASBCC-CW Tour25-bham.eventbrite.com. So if you're interested, please make sure that you check that out.
District 4 will be having a town hall meeting this upcoming Monday, April 21st at 6 p.m. at the Shield Center. So please make sure that you are in attendance if you would like to know what's going on in D4. Again, April 21st, 6 p.m. at the Shield Center, we will be having the town hall meeting for District 4. And last but not least, I got an opportunity to go to the grand opening for H2O, Help to Others, which is an organization that helps individuals and residents that need help with their water bills. It was a really good, convening. It was an opportunity to really learn about how they got started, and how somebody just, out of the goodness of their heart, just decided, hey, there are some people that are coming in to pay their bills over 20 years ago. Let me just see what I can do, taking money out of their own pocket. And the word spread so much so that they had to start a nonprofit for it, to be able to help people, because we know we have a lot of folks that are on fixed incomes, and sometimes when these, emergencies happen, they don't have the money to be able to take care of those water leaks or, that running toilet. And so it was really good to, be able to go there last week. But then I'll be honest, I was, kind of, disheartened by certain decisions that have been made at the Birmingham Water Works Board, about certain policies and how people have to apply and be approved to come up and speak. We sit on the city council here, and good, bad, ugly, and different. We don't stop the public from being able to say what it is that they need to say to us. We don't try to police them in that way, because every citizen has the right to come up and speak and share what it is that they feel on their heart needs to be shared. Whether we agree with it or not, that's neither here nor there. They have that right. And so I would hope that the Birmingham Water Works Board would do the same and take on that same mentality to know that people have the freedom to speak. People have the freedom to speak, and they should be allowed to do that, even if you don't agree with it. So those are my comments. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Moore. Councilor Abbott.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is scheduled for May 14th at 3:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. We have one vacancy on the Design Review Committee for a building trade practitioner. The resume deadline is April 17th. That's this Thursday by close of business. You can send your resume to valerie.abbott@birminghamal.gov. Neighborhood Association meetings for tonight. 5 Point South meets at 6 p.m. at the Highlands United Methodist Church. I want to wish everyone a happy Easter, and I guess they won't be eating too many eggs, but I saw some of those flying eggs at the home expo out in the park on Saturday. They came flying through the trees. I thought we were being attacked by something. But when they hit the ground, I knew that they were Easter eggs and that it was okay, but it was very strange. But the Home Center Expo was wonderful. And I was sad to see how few people attended. I guess folks don't want to buy homes because there were people there willing to give free money to you to help you buy a home. I was very impressed. We have a lot of banks that are stepping up. And so it was great, and it was a beautiful day. I guess that's why the turnout wasn't so great, because it was so beautiful. Everybody went to the lake or something. Mm-hmm. But if you want to buy a home, there are people willing to help, and they have cash, which is pretty impressive to me. I didn't have any when I bought a home. So anyway, if you have concerns or see things that are not right in the city of Birmingham, please call 311, or you can also download my favorite app, the My BHAM 311 app, where you can put photographs. Now, there are so many sewer covers that have fallen in on the south side in 5 Point South and Glen Iris. I'm just tired. I need to find a way. You could just, if you were the sewer setting guy, you could just drive up and down every street. Those concrete covers are not, they haven't fixed a darn thing. They don't seem to break as badly, but they're in the hole because they've been run over or hit by all the people who can't drive. So, anyway, and just having to put down the address of every single one of them is wearying. But maybe we need a team, that drives around and looks for work, because there is plenty of it in my neighborhoods. I don't know
Counselor
about
Abbott,
the rest of y'all, but plenty in my neighborhoods.
I distinctly remember the council approving, the
Those new
purchase of
covers.
actual cast iron, storm sewer inlet covers and other similar pieces. So I think we also need to inquire about the status of, those being installed, because I distinctly remember us approving that purchase.
Yeah, as I drive home from the nursing home at night, there aren't any that are set. All of them have been knocked off or fallen in. It's not like it's an unusual situation. They're either easier to hit with your big giant truck you don't know how to drive, or they're just not, or, yeah, they're just not, they're not installed where they stay where they're supposed to be. It's a problem. But I can see from the looks on y'all's faces that it's a problem, not just for me, but for everybody. So maybe that's something we need to look into.
That's right.
Which
Okay.
committee is that? Okay, we'll take it on. It's part of planning. We're planning, yeah. But we are planning to have our sewer covers stay on. So it might be part of planning. But yeah, committee of the whole probably makes better sense.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's all for me. Put my BHAM 311 on your phone and go around just taking pictures till the cows come home.
All right. Thank you, Counselor Abbott. Counselor Smitherman.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next Budget and Finance meeting will meet on Monday, April 28th at 3:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Submissions are due Wednesday, April 23rd by noon. 5 Point South neighborhood will meet in the South Hall of Highland United Methodist Church at 6 p.m. today. The 2025 Budget Town Hall will be held at the Boutwell at 6 p.m. Doors will open at 5:30 p.m. Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham will be at Titusville Library today. They may be reached at 205-250-5198 or go to their website, www.vlbham.org. And then lastly, Councilor Tate, we're coming to Memorial Park for One Hood. So they're having Pull Up for Peace. This is right before Easter weekend. So this Thursday from 4 to 7 at Memorial Park. They'll have games, resources. We have several partners, so this is going to be really good. I know we've had quite a bit of violence over in that area lately, so we're just coming to help support the kids since they'll be out of school. So I'm excited about that. And thank you once again, Councilor Tate, for all the work you've done. So thank you. Also, I also went to James Bradbury. He is a product of Pleasant Grove, Birmingham. Is a part of the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion. This is second year doing a fundraising weekend to benefit H.E. Gaston Boys and Girls Club. It was really nice. They had a reception Friday. He had a golf tournament Saturday and a soiree Saturday night. But it was really nice to see somebody giving back, the Boys and Girls Club. And he's very humble, great guy. So I had a great weekend being able to support him. So thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Smitherman. Pro Tem Alexander.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. These are announcements for District 7. On Wednesday, tomorrow, and again on April 30th, the Powderly Branch Library are offering Get Moving with Chair Fitness Program, and this will be presented by Phyllis Fisher, certified instructor. So that starts at 11 a.m. The Powderly Branch Library. You have 2 times this month to participate. The first one is tomorrow, April 16th, and the other one will be on April 30th. On Thursday, April 17th, the Hillman and the Hillman Park neighborhoods will meet jointly at 5 p.m. at the Hopewell Family Life Center. And again, that's on 4817 Jefferson Avenue Southwest, and that's at 5 p.m. On Friday, Garden Highlands neighborhood will meet at 6 p.m. at Mount Hilliard Baptist Church. Has already been requested, please, if you see any illegal dumping, you encounter any issues relative to potholes, missed trash, that type thing, please record that and log in to MyBM 311 to report those. And I am having very good results in reporting those. And I just want to tell you, when you call me, I immediately pick up the phone and I report it to 311. And so it's very helpful if you would report that as well. And then the more of us that are reporting these issues, the quicker we get a response. As mentioned already, Saturday, April 26th is our annual Love D7 Day. That'll be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be starting out at the Jones Valley Middle School. We'll come together at the end of the cleanup. We're encouraging cleanups in all 17 neighborhoods in D7, and we'll come back and meet up at Jones Valley for some fun games. It's already been said the UAB Mobile Market will be there with some fresh produce and items that you'll be able to secure. We'll also have a shredder truck, and this is really a community service event. Then on Saturday, May 17th, have a little time to get ready for that, but just already want to make the residents of Tarpley City, Gracilla Heights, West Goldwire, Hillman Industrial Center, and Hillman Park, they'll be coming together for their Community Fun Day. I know that we've been trying to encourage, instead of having the individual fun days, we're coming together as communities. And so one of the first that we'll have in D7 will be on Saturday, May 17th. You'll hear more information about that. And I do want to thank you, Councilor Moore, for just mentioning the request that we ask the Waterworks Board to really reconsider and just to consider the reason that I use my role as a member of the City Council is to appoint people who are in the interest of the ratepayer. And in order to represent people, you have to be able to listen and hear the requests and issues that are before them. And just looking at some of the procedures, it would be difficult for me, and I consider myself to be pretty computer literate and useful with technology, but having to read an agenda and request 24 hours before that agenda, or right after that agenda is published, I would like to say we sit here, as Councilor Moore said, every Tuesday. We listen to our residents, and whether, again, the good, bad, or the ugly, but we try to react and we try to listen. And so I'm just asking, we don't direct that board, but I'm just asking the board if they would reconsider and make that process a little bit more open. And those are my announcements. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Council Williams.
Thank you. Economic Development and Tourism will be today at 11:30 in the chambers. Brown Springs neighborhood will have a conference call Thursday, the 17th at 6 o'clock. And wishing everybody a happy Easter weekend. Also, for Committee of the Whole, along the comments that Councilor Abbott made, I think that, we need to look at more or request information that pertains to more than just what's happening with the metal grates, because, we have a situation where we have gotten, a one-size-fits-all, die cast kind of thing, where we're creating these cement blocks that are supposed to fit every different size of inlet. And the end result is the frustration that we collectively have, and that when you put on a huge inlet cover, cattywampus on the side of something where it's not made to fit, the grooves don't match up, and then, it gets nicked by a car and it's all of a sudden upside down. And so, concerns that I have raised previously include not only having a construction crew that specifically handles putting on grates, whether they have a cementing portion to line up the metal grate, or whether they create a cement grate that actually fits into the storm drain. But also, we really need to have a crew that specifically goes around and cleans out the inlets in the city. It is absolutely ridiculous that a city council member has to go drive around and figure out which inlets are clogged up every single time that there's complaints, and then report it. That is something that Public Works should be able to easily handle, because it's easily handled by every other municipality in this state. So I am really tired of getting phone calls, stopped in the grocery store, whatever, about the water inlets, the storm water situation, and it looks bad too. I mean, it looks sloppy. So we need to fix that, and I want the council to ask for that in a committee of the whole setting, because it's gotten to where, I mean, our residents notice that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Council Williams. Council Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Evergreen Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 5 p.m. at the Evergreen Missionary Baptist Church located at 2009 22nd Avenue North. East Thomas Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. They meet on Zoom. You can call the office at 254-2302. South Pratt Neighborhood Association meeting has been canceled tonight. Smithfield Estates Neighborhood Meeting will be held tonight at 6 p.m. at Daniel Payne Plaza, 1500 Daniel Payne Drive. Ensley Neighborhood Meeting will be held on Thursday, April the 17th at 6 p.m. at the Ensley Rec Center located at 2800 Avenue K. The next public safety meeting will be held on Tuesday, April the 22nd at 1 p.m. Please submit agenda items by Wednesday, April the 16th, no later than 12 noon, to the following recipients: Gregory.Stanley@birminghamal.gov and Ashanta.Cephas at birminghamal.gov. Also, I want to give a big kudos to, and Councilor Quinn, I realized you was at house party, but we were at Fountain Heights Farm with Dominique and her husband Chris, and got an opportunity to present some $17,000 ARPA funding to expand, a produce delivery service for 50 families. So we had a great time. Biddy's Kitchen was there. They did a live demonstration. They prepared some fresh food, all this stuff had come out the farm. So we had a great time, with the Fountain Heights community and surrounding, constituents. Also, I want to thank Janet Maycock for being so innovative and with this Jazz in the Park. It was just an amazing event that she hosted. It was some little hiccups, but some discussion has been had around that. And then in the traveling down the road that you all have taken, we talking about the storm water. I wholeheartedly agree with Council Williams on what he's saying, because I've turned in quite a bit of stuff myself and saw a lot of drains that are clogged. I also want to, and this is my final statement, very disappointed with the waterworks coming up with bringing something to the floor is, silencing people. This is not an NIL contest, name, images, and likeness. I mean, like you all have stated, people come here every Tuesday. Sometimes people don't come, and we have to sit here and we have to, you got to take it. If you can't stay in the heat, get out the kitchen. And so we send people there, as you all stated, to stand up for what is right. And sometimes being right and walking on the right side of being right, it's not going to always be popular. Sometimes you have to stand for what's right if you out in the wilderness by yourself. And so I'm like you all, I really wish they would reconsider this. I think it's really terrible. My mom is 78 years old. She can turn on the computer if I say, hey, go punch this button right here. But she can't go any further than that unless I be there to help her. And so, I stand wholeheartedly with you all, and hopefully we get a solution to this very soon. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Councilor Tate. Councilor Woods.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Quickly, just to add to the conversation around the storm drain covers, they're really not designed to be run into. And so they're like magnets for cars, but I think a part of that conversation, I think if Councilor Abbott, you're leading that in committee, they would have to be flush with the concrete, the ground. Like you had to kind of redesign. If they're sticking up, we're not gonna be able to design anything to withstand cars running into it over and over again. But that's just my 2 cents. But going forward, the Sun Valley Neighborhood Association will meet tonight. That meeting will be held via Zoom at 6:30 p.m. Definitely want to encourage everyone to get engaged, stay engaged with your neighborhood association, and make sure you're sharing your ideas as well as lifting up your concerns. Also want to just extend some thanks to. We have a lot going on this Saturday. We had 2 different community gardens in the district. Huffman neighborhood has started a community garden, as well as the community garden at East Pinson Valley Rec Center. And so they were both in action this weekend, taking care of those gardens. And so just excited to see that growth. When we started this some years ago, just kind of wanted to create as many community gathering places as we can. And I mean, we got several master gardeners that have just taken that and run with it, and just appreciative of them to kind of we create the space, but they've really done the work of maintaining and growing it. And so just want to thank them. Also join us next Tuesday for the encore of Hip Hop in the Environment. This event will be on April 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Springville Road Library in partnership with Black Warrior Riverkeeper. And so I was really excited by the engagement by the kids. They were really into it, and we're trying to find more and more ways to share the message of keeping your community clean. And so if we can raise a generation of people who are not littering, we don't have to spend millions to clean it up. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Woods. For District 5, I want to start out by thanking all of the folks that came out on Saturday morning to help out with the D5 House Proud Smithfield Community Impact Day. We were able to get a lot done in a little bit of time because of all of the folks helping out. Especially want to thank the folks at House Proud, our D5 team, the council's public information office, all the folks at Ferris, Riley, and Pitt Law Firm that showed up, Parker High School football team and girls basketball teams, the Housing Authority, the Birmingham District, the Birmingham Tool Bank, and I'm sure there's some others that I'm forgetting, but really impactful day, and really looking forward to helping out a lot more folks with some repairs and critical repairs. Definitely want to recognize the work of the contractors that are really doing the skilled labor portion of that and coordinating all of the volunteers. Truly having a big impact in the Smithfield neighborhood. This week, we have a number of neighborhood meetings. Central City Neighborhood Association will meet tonight at 6 p.m. at the Downtown Central Library. On Thursday, North Avondale and Southside neighborhoods will meet. North Avondale meets at 6 at the MLK Rec Center, and Southside also meets at 6 at the BPD South Precinct. This month, in celebration of Earth Month, there are several events that are taking place. Birmingham's official Celebrate Trails Day will take place on April 26th from 7 a.m. until noon at the market at Pepper Place. This is a fun and free day outside with a range of activities hosted by the Rails to Trails Conservancy, the Market at Pepper Place, Freshwater Land Trust, and Redemptive Cycles. Again, that's Saturday, April 26th at Pepper Place. Then we have a number of cleanups that are happening throughout District 5 in April. Eastlake neighborhood will host a cleanup on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. The supply pickup will be at Household of Faith Church at 7501 Division Avenue. Again, that's 9 to 1 on April 26th. Southeast Lake neighborhood will host a cleanup on the same day at the same time, but they'll be meeting at East Lake United Methodist Church. And then finally, Central City Neighborhood will be hosting a cleanup on Sunday, April 27th, starting at 9 a.m. And they will be starting at the intersection of 20th Street North and 2nd Avenue. Just want to remind folks to please support the Birmingham Stallions. They are 3-time UFL champions. They had a great game on Saturday. They waited till literally the last couple of minutes to pull out the win, but they got it done. So really exciting game, even if it took them, most of 4 quarters to kind of come around. And then, also want to remind you of the upcoming Alabama State games and the World Police and Fire Games. Those are great events that are occurring this summer, and all of those events are free to attend. We'll be hosting people for Alabama State games from around the state, and for World Police and Fire Games, literally from around the globe. So please look up information on that and plan to participate. And that concludes my announcements for District 5. Councilor Tate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sorry, I want to continue on the Be Neighborly House Pride. We'll be in Sherman Heights on Saturday, so if you're not busy, come on out and lift a hand. And so we're going to be moving from Wylam to Sherman Heights, so that's Saturday, April the 19th, from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30. You can call the office and get some details. I want to thank Lisa Flowers Jones, and I know you guys have had a chance to experience the House Pride move, so we're excited. We're on the move. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. We have no speakers signed up on our speakers list today. I want to thank our officers on duty, Officer Pinkard and Officer Square. Really appreciate you guys looking after us. And with that, all in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
So today we're kicking off our effort with House Proud, where we're going to be helping a bunch of homeowners in the Smithfield neighborhood.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is awesome. Yes.
Well, we're going to get you some fences built today. That's what I'm going to be working on. So
you're going to be working on the fence too?
Yeah. Each council district received $3 million in the ARPA funds that the city received. I set aside $1 million of that $3 million to help out with housing. And within that $1 million, $500,000 of it is for this type of effort, where we're helping existing homeowners do renovations, things that they might not otherwise be able to do on their own.
This is happening in our community, and not only do we represent our community on the football field, we also represent our community off the football field by the way we act, the way we participate, and just helping out anywhere we can throughout the community.
There's also skilled labor, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, who will be doing some of the more involved work that these homeowners need.
Right here, right now, is when you see it on the ground. You see the dollars being spent, you see the change happening. And so to be able to be a part of the behind the scenes coordination that has to take place, the several meetings that have to take place, the intense conversations sometimes that have to take place about what's best, and then seeing it all come to fruition here today on the ground in the city of Birmingham, in an area that needs this and impacting the citizens, it's a great thing. So I'm glad to be a part of this, glad to be able to represent the city of Birmingham, Parker High School, just being a part of the change that we want to see.
I feel extraordinarily blessed to be have a hand in keeping folks in their homes, whereas, they might have to consider other options otherwise. So it's a beautiful day in Birmingham. Couldn't ask for better weather to kick this event off, and looking forward to, doing a lot more of this over the next several weeks.
listen, we are out here this morning for multiple different reasons, all right? One of which is the cleanup day that is taking place right here at Patton Park. I'm so grateful to be here with Mr. Hubbard, Lady Pink, riding with a purpose. Like, we all out here doing our thing, cleaning up trash, riding for mental health.
Today, with the help of my friend here, and the lovely ladies of Riding with a Purpose. Yeah. You see them right there. They're helping me put on a ride today to raise money for mental health awareness.
And our purpose today is to bring awareness, to take a ride for those that are mentally challenged. And we talk so little about it, but it's a big thing. And sometimes it's the root of what's going on in the community today. It's the root of what's going on in this world today.
Again, I'm just grateful for all the individuals that are out here to help make today's event successful.
Look, I'm gonna bring you close so you can get your first one. You ready? All right, get it.
And it has to be nice. We have to take pride in our stuff. So this is gonna be our railroad park over here, Patton Park. Children gonna come visit, you know. If somebody came to your house and put trash all over your floor, wouldn't that make you sad? Right, so this is making the fish sad. When we miss? Yes, this is the fish house. This is where they live. Yeah, you a champion. Look at that. Put it in my bag so I can have more trash than everybody else. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Listen, thank you to Mr. Hubbard, thank you to Lady Pink, and the ladies of Riding with a Purpose. Listen, we are out here and we're having a good time, and I'm just so appreciative of change agents like these individuals here. So, thank you.